All right, welcome to the Daily Vibe. We are your hosts, Kudu and that guy. Today we have a special guest, Kixie, as he likes to be called, a gamer from South Africa. Welcome, Kixie.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
All right, do you want to
All the way
tell?
out in South Africa.
Yeah, all the way out there, all the way down under, I guess. But Kixie, do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, what games you play, and so on?
I play a game called Rainbow Six Siege. I am part of a team called Shook Esports, and I've been playing for them for about 4 months now. Yeah, and I've been playing Siege for about 4 years, like literally every day for about 4 years, which is kind of great. Yeah, and I guess that's literally what I'm trying to do now.
Nice.
Awesome. And so you're on a competitive team. How many tournaments have you played in the last year?
I think we've probably played about 20 tournaments already in about 4 months.
Awesome.
So we play nearly every weekend, basically every weekend, and we also play during the week in smaller tournaments. We also scrim about 3 times a week, so we play literally every day. Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of got you into R6, and how did you find your team?
So about 4 years ago, my brother showed me this game called Rainbow Six Siege, and he kind of showed me like the basics of the game, and he like showed me like how to play this game and all this type of stuff, and I actually just literally loved it. I like literally couldn't get enough of this game, and I just kept playing it, and I like always wanted to be better than him. I always wanted to be better than my brother at Rainbow Six Siege. So I played as much as I could, and I like learned from him, and yeah, and it kind of just got me going, and now I'm inside a pro team, which is great. What was the other half of your question? Sorry.
How did you like find that pro team? Because a lot of what we've been hearing in the esports arena is that it's very difficult to find a team to play with, especially like a very competitive team. So how did you find this team in order to play competitive?
Yeah, so finding this team was like slight. It was like I'm kind of weird. So I was just playing the one day, and then I went into a game, and then I saw there's some person on my team that had Shook in their name, and I was quite curious. So I was asking him a bunch of questions and stuff like that, and then he introduced me to like the people inside of his team, and then I went through about a month like of like a trial period where they were like testing me. I was playing games with them. They were testing my knowledge of the game. They were testing my skill inside the game, and if I'd played comp before. And yeah, it was kind of nerve wracking. I'm not gonna lie, like trying to trial for like a pro team, and yeah, and then they brought me in as as a fragger, which is something that I love doing. It's basically the person that gets all the kills. But so now I've been playing them for like 4 months, and yeah, we're going strong so far.
What's your record right now?
What of like most kills?
No. Like your team, your team's record for tournaments, games, things like that.
So currently we are inside of league, which is like we do like a round robin, and then obviously quarters, semis, and finals eventually. And we were tied third last week. So we are still set to play this week's game, which is actually happening in an hour, and then we'll see where we're going from there.
And a recent season just dropped in Rainbow Six Siege. How has the beginning of the season treated you?
Yeah, so looking at the season, definitely the operators are very different to what Rainbow brings out, and it is like just they are going to change the game so much. Currently, they are not in comp. They will be brought into comp in like a couple of months' time. Once like the new season drops, but that's going to change the style of play and like everything that we've like come up with, like all the strats that we've come up with are all going to change now because of these new operators, because they just changed the whole game. So yeah.
You talked about the new map earlier when we were just kind of talking about a lot of other things. You said that you might be using a new map today in your competition. Walk us through kind of, you don't have to go into your strategy obviously, but walk us through what that's like playing a new map without, in a competitive game without even going through it.
Yeah, so looking at this new map that got brought into Pro League recently is kind of nerve-wracking because literally you're like I don't know how people play it, honestly. So this like a map has been inside of ranks and casual for like a very long time, but obviously stuff that you take into ranked and stuff that you take into comp are two very different things. It's two different styles of playing, right? So now playing the new map tonight for the very first time, it makes me wish that we had like scrimmed the map against someone to like see the flaws inside of our strategies and stuff like that, and then try work on those flaws. But now we're just going head first into a new map and just hoping that our strategies work.
How long have you been playing for Shook Esports now?
About 4 or 5 months now.
Okay.
So yes, will be going strong so far.
Yeah, and how has it been? Obviously, we know Siege is a very team-based game. Getting to know in a whole new team and play with them, learn get the synergies up within the team. How has that been?
Yeah, so first coming into Shook, I was also quite nervous because brand new team, players that I've never played with in my entire life. I'm also quite new to the PC side of Siege. I used to play on PS4. So coming into a team where they know that I'm at a certain level, but obviously I'm gonna grow and become better, was kind of difficult because just trying to sync with everyone inside the team and just do well straight off the bat it just doesn't happen. So back when I first started playing for them, we were losing a lot of our games. We were I don't know, it was just very weird, It was very difficult, and basically we just had to work to become better. We had team meetings every week, we had strat meetings every week, trying to find where all the puzzle pieces go, So back when I first came into Shook, I went and I came in as a secondary fragger. So I used to be a very passive fragger where I used to play just behind the entry fragger and then frag off him. So as soon as he messes up, I will come in and clean up the mess, And now now we're looking a few months down the line, and now I'm the entry fragger. So now I'm the one that has to go in head first and try see the cracks inside of the strategy and push through those cracks as hard as I can,
So
and, yeah.
No, so do you guys do any team building exercise, going out to dinner? Do you guys just get to know each other as well, or is it just playing online?
Yeah, so currently none of us live close together at all. Some of them live 15 hours away from me, and they live on the other side of SA, So basically what we'll do is that we'll play other games Golf It and Uno, and we'll play those games together, and we'll just laugh and have some fun and get to know each other, or we'll just chill at 3-4 a.m. and just have those late night talks, and just relax, So that is
gamers thrive, eh? At 3-4 a.m. That's when the party starts.
Yeah, so definitely my time zone is definitely messed up at the moment. But yeah, just those late night talks, chatting to a bunch of mates, getting to know them better, getting to know their actual real name and actually not their gamer tag, and like getting to know if they're still in school in uni, like what they're gonna do, is kind of nice because it actually builds the team closer, and like you get to see everyone's different point of views, on like certain like subjects, which is nice.
What would you say is your favorite game outside of Siege to play with your friends?
Outside of Siege to play with my friends is Golf It.
Golf It, that's the game.
Golf It is the most frustrating but funniest game to play with like mates, honestly. And it's like good like after like a really comp game where like your mind is like your like literally like your mind is like trained and like you're really trained from the game, and then you go and play like a really chilled game like Golf It. It just like calms everyone down, and everyone's chatting, everyone's like laughing. It's great.
Yeah. And what's it like?
It's awesome.
So obviously you guys have the fun times like Golf It and such. But how do you train for a game like Siege? I think you've said before that Siege is a very different game to other games out there. So how do you actually train for that?
Yeah, so Siege is so different to any other game out there. It's just so different that like people think that you can just go in like COD and just shoot people and you win, right? But inside of Siege, like every operator does different things, and then you use those gadgets to win the round, obviously. So we have like team talks probably literally every week, and based like the game has come to that you don't need the best gun skill to win. Like if you have the best mind, then you'll win, right? So yeah, so like Siege is not like any other game. Like obviously like Warzone and stuff is like mostly based on your gun skill, whereas like Siege is very based on like your strats. So if you have the best strategies, then it's a lot easier to win,
Yeah, so you say when training for a game like Siege, you guys focus more on strategies than your mechanical skills.
Yeah, so if you want to become like a really good like skilled player, then obviously you can use aim trainers and stuff like that to like take you up to like a certain level. But then past that level, like actually like you need to do two things: is actually just use your mind inside of the game, and literally just have to outthink your opponents. Then basically like the second thing is that you actually just need to sit down and play the game, honestly. It has taken me 4 years to join a comp team, just to be good enough to even join a comp team. It is taking me 4 years. So that is literally just me sitting down and playing the game for 4 years straight, and just trying to become the best, But obviously, like you can't like let's say that you're sitting at like the gold level, you can't learn from people that are in gold level. You need to learn from people that are better than you, like way better than you, because then you learn from them, and then they can show you like what to do and how to play. But then obviously once you become like the best, then you need to like there's no way to become the best. There is always new seasons coming out, there's always new operators coming out, and guns get nerfed, guns get buffed, and basically what you need to do is just keep playing, honestly, and just learn from other people, because that's the only way to actually go pro, is just learn, just keep learning.
Speaking of operators, who's your operator, or who do you use with everything?
So there's so many operators that I end up playing inside a comp. It actually just depends on the map. But
Okay.
Kind of what the team has kind of put me on recently is put me on an operator called Jaeger. And Jaeger is one of the best operators inside of the game. But obviously people say, oh, you're like a Jaeger Ash main, which is like an attacker and a defender, and like, oh, you like that type of main. It's like a typical Siege player, Ash and Jaeger main, And obviously, don't want to be known as a typical Ashe and Jaeger main. I want to be like smarter than those players, you know. So yeah, so like
Jaeger Ashmans are normally players that don't really think a lot. They just they use their mechanical skill.
yeah. So basically, they use their skill, and also those are like the two best weapons inside of the game, and they are the easiest to use. So Jaeger just places 3 like gadgets down, and then all he has is his gun, right? And then Ashe has breaching charges, and then literally she just has her gun. So it's literally just you use their guns mostly, you know. So it's not really like you can outthink your players by only using your weapon, you know. Whereas like other like operators, like you use their gadgets to like out think, you know.
And well, you're constantly talking about strategies. I am assuming that like when you guys are in competitions, you have call outs for certain areas of the map. With a new player coming into a game like Siege, how do they go about learning different strategies or learning call outs of certain areas of the map?
Yeah, so I'll just like touch base on this, but I'm gonna post a YouTube video over this next week, trying to help new players and also players grow as like a player. And basically, like what I'm trying to do is that people have to learn from better players. So obviously, I am not the best player, right? But I know a lot. So I'm gonna go show new players and like players that are lower than me how to get better and how to grow as like a Siege player. So that's what I'm trying to aim for over this next YouTube video. But basically, inside of different maps and stuff, there are like different rooms, right? And if you look at the bottom of your screen during the game, there's like a little compass, and then there'll be like a word underneath that compass, and that is literally what the room is called. So that's like a good starting point for like a brand new player, is to look at that compass. Okay, I am inside of Freezer, right? So this room is called Freezer. So then let's say that you die inside of Freezer because there is a person inside of Freezer. So then you told your team there is a guy in Freezer. So that's just like your simple call out, right? But then once you get into like a comp team, then like saying that there's a guy inside of Freezer is not like good enough, you know. And then you would have to say, okay, there's a person inside of Freezer rack, which is like there's a rack inside of Freezer, you know. And then you know that there's a guy, okay, tight left or tight right of the door, you know. And then basically like those like slight details can actually change the way that you play. So obviously Freezer is more of like a common call out, but now if you say in Freezer by the rack or Freezer rack, it's quicker, but then it tells you the exact place where that person is, you know.
Yeah.
And it's probably different for every team, right? Like the closer you play with people, you have different ways of, calling out things. I know when Josh and I play, he and I can say something and like no one else on the team will understand what we're saying except for us.
Yeah,
so like it's just that, chemistry that you have with your teammates.
Yeah, so there is this one map called Clubhouse, and there's like a like platform, obviously. So people call it rafters for like short. And then there's like a 90-degree angle where like the rafter meets, right? And we actually call that pi. So then as soon as someone says pi, then we know someone's inside that corner and we know exactly where they are, you know? So it's just like certain callouts like that make it so much faster, and also people actually know what it is like straight away, which is amazing.
And
you said you converted from PS4 to PC?
Yes.
So did you convert from mouse and keyboard, or from controller to mouse and keyboard, or are you now playing on controller?
No, I went from PS4 scuff to mouse and key, which is quite a big change.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically when I played on PS4, that was mostly just for like fun. I did once look into going into comp there, and then we did for like a month or so, and we played like one a tournament, but it didn't really last, you know. And now that I'm on Mouse and Key, it's a totally different ball game, honestly, because now like people that are actually in like gold and like low plat are actually really good, you know. And back on like a PS4 where like people were in gold and low plat, they were actually just like horrible. But like it was good for console, you know.
Hmm.
So it's weird.
Yeah. And so I mean, coming over onto mouse and keyboard, so games like Warzone, let's say, players with controllers can really compete against people with a mouse and keyboard. Is it similar in Siege? Are there a lot of players that play with a controller on the computer?
Yeah, so Warzone has like a aim assist for like PS4 and Xbox players, where they could actually just aim in and it would help them shoot, right? Whereas in Siege doesn't have that at all. You know,
Even for controller players.
yeah. So
Wow.
Siege doesn't have that. So people that play on PS4 and Xbox at like a disadvantage if they had to use a controller on PC, you know, because like then they don't have that aim assist, you know. So if you had to play with like a PS4 a controller on like a PC, then you have to be really good,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
Like you can't just be like an average player.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of potato shots.
Yes. And just missing the player, like just like shooting the wall next to him, or you know.
That's always it's always great watching new people come onto Siege and seeing their aim and how different it is to other games, because you start seeing they can't hit their shots, they shoot around different operators. It's great,
Yeah.
great to watch.
Yeah, yeah, and like
That's a split.
also, yeah, and like also like different guns have like different recoil patterns. So like you have to learn the recoil patterns of guns, and it's hectic actually.
Okay, and so what would you say is some things that Siege really has like taught you that you can apply in your everyday life, you know, like actual life skills? So I would say that games these days are very misunderstood or looked down upon. The athletes within the esports are looked down upon as not real athletes, whereas as I mean, all three of us know, and most of our listeners know, esports is a serious competition. These athletes are truly gifted, and they really train hard. So, what would you say are some just everyday things that Siege has really taught you that you can apply?
Yeah, so just like speaking to like my teammates and stuff like that, it like helps you understand people more, you know. Um, Not just on like we like give call outs, but also those like late night talks, those golf it talks. It like really helps you understand like actual people, you know, inside of the real world, you know. And something that Siege has definitely shown me is that every single time that I'm out and about, I just have like a different view on like everything. It's because you're so focused on like the finer details inside of Siege that you notice the finer details in like your everyday life. So if there's something out of place, then you actually notice it, you know. Whereas like a normal person wouldn't even see it.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes you look at stuff more closely, you know. And also what's like Siege has like shown me is that teamwork and like leadership is huge, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
Whereas yeah.
just from everything you've been saying, like communication wise, so I'm assuming Siege has really taught you to communicate efficiently.
Yeah. So if you give the wrong call out, then it can actually cost like your teammate's life, and then obviously your teammate gets quite angry at you. So it's like taught you to always like stay focused, you know, like focus on everything that you do, and then that is actually why I said earlier is that we play golf it after like a comp game. That's because you're so drained from focusing for 2-3 hours, and literally all you want to do is sleep, you know. And so that's why we have that like chill time, you know, play golf it, relax.
How do you balance, gaming with the rest of your life as far as like, what do you, because everyone has their, healthy balance of everything. Um, how do you personally deal with that every day?
Yeah, so I was very lucky with this whole lockdown thing that I joined Shook because now this is what I do. you know, I could like dedicate like all of my time just to playing video games. Then also I'd go like walk the dogs and stuff like that. And I know like some pro players gym every day to like train their skills for like Siege, you know, and kind of what I've been doing is like walking my dogs and stuff like that because obviously like we can't go to gyms because of lockdown and stuff like that. But when I was just like a casual player and like I just played casual and ranked, I would just like go to school or like go to some like friends' houses and I come play Siege at like night for like a few hours, then go to bed, you know. And I would like still go do stuff. I would still go to school, do my homework, study for test, exams, whatever, go home, play Siege. But now that I'm out of school, and obviously, like, I actually can't really get a job with this whole virus going around and stuff like that. But yeah, so like now I just walk the dogs. I probably see a mate once a week, once every 2 weeks now because of this whole virus thing. And other than that, yeah, I just stay at home.
Yeah, you got a little bit unlucky there, hey? Graduated and locked down all at the same time. It's
Yeah, and this was meant to be
Congrats on graduating.
Thank you. Yeah, so this was meant to be my gap year where I was meant to travel. I was going to come to the States for about 6 months. So it was very unlucky.
We could have met.
Yeah, we could have met. Yeah, so it was a little bit unlucky, but next year I'm gonna go start working properly. But then obviously I'm gonna have to try to find the balance between playing for Shook, running my YouTube channel, streaming, and also working at the same time, which is gonna be a little bit hectic. I'm probably not gonna have a social life, but but actually gaming is social, yeah. Gaming's very social. Like you meet a lot of friends, you make a lot of friends, you meet new people every day.
Yeah.
So I guess gaming can also be my social life as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly how Lane and I met, was playing COD. You always make some really good friends playing online. And then when you meet them in real life, it's even cooler. It's like, oh, what's up, dude? I know your voice, I know what you look like, but now you're here.
Yeah, it is very cool. So actually last year, I went and I met one of my mates that I had been playing a PS4 with for 3.5 years. And I went and I met him for the first time last year. It was the craziest thing, you know? And like, him and I were best mates on PS4 and I've never met this guy in my life, you know? It was crazy to see.
It's super weird. I mean, like, Josh has now met my family because of COD. Has met some of my friends, and I've met some of his friends and you through this. Like, it's so weird that, he and I have never met, but now we know so much about each other and have actually like brought each other into different circles of our social life. Like I met Courtney and everything, went through, know that, how everything's going with them and everything, which is awesome. Congrats again, Josh, for getting engaged.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much the great thing about all types of sports, whether it's like physical or esports. It really, the people you meet are people that you can really make friends with for a lifetime, which is something I think is a huge misconception in the gaming world. I think a lot of parents out there, or just even other kids our age, they don't understand how you can make a bond with someone over a video game. But it's not really just the video game, it's the banter before the game, after the game, the good laughs that you have. It's really it makes good relationships.
Actually makes memories.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, Josh, continue.
Oh no, I was just going off what Caleb said. Makes memories. It's almost like Lane and I. So Lane sometimes streams, and we decided to play duos the other day, and like Lane was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna stream this one. Like, let's not record. Let's just have fun." And then we ended up having the best game of our life. I swear, we told everyone, we were like, "Yeah, no, you should have seen this game. We were playing so well, and no one believes us." So
Well, and it wasn't even that. It was you thought I was streaming, and I think that was the most disappointed I've ever heard Josh, because he was just like, we were in the final circle, and he's just like, dude, I can't believe you got this on video, and I'm like, oh no. No, we took pictures though. But yeah, it's really cool, because honestly, in a different life, Josh and I would have never even met.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I've
but-
noticed your camera sometimes goes fuzzy, and you've got a game coming up in less than an hour. What's going on over there?
Yeah, so my parents are separated, and I obviously still live at home. So I was at my mom's house, because that's where my PC is usually, and the Wi-Fi stopped working, and then basically I called the guy, and he said that it was only going to be fixed in 3 days. So I moved my whole PC setup to my dad's house, and then when I got here, it turns out the Wi-Fi also broke here. And then now I'm on data. So I actually had to play a game yesterday on data, and it's quite frustrating, because like your ping jumps so much and you lag at certain points, and then your teammates are like, wait, what did you say? So yeah, it's a little frustrating, but like I have to do what I gotta do.
man, dude, your service provider must be hating you right now, just bogging down everyone in your area.
They're like, this one guy is drawing so much data straight to him. What is happening?
Yeah, actually, I'm on limited data as well, so it's not just unlimited data either. It's limited.
Oh man,
That's gonna hurt. So
that's gotta be rough.
Every second while you're playing, you're busy calculating. Okay, how much is this game costing me now? We gotta win this round, boys. We gotta end this.
We need to end this game like now, boys.
I'm about to run out. Oh no! Hopefully,
That's awesome.
Hopefully you don't run out of data during your game. That could be pretty tragic for your team. I'm sure they won't be too happy. But they're
That
all
would
in
be
South Africa,
horrible.
so they'll probably understand. They'll be like, "It's okay. This is just gaming in South Africa. We know how it goes."
Yeah, it is quite horrible. Not gonna lie.
I was very impressed the times that we have played together. You played over in NA servers, and you were kicking ass, and just right there with us.
300 ping.
On 300 ping. You even won Gulag. Like I was so impressed.
Yeah, it is quite an issue.
And here I am complaining whenever I go over 50 ping. I'm like, it's the ping.
I
I'm
know.
dying because of the ping. And then this kid comes along, 300 ping slaying, and I'm like, never mind. I'm not gonna talk about my ping anymore.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so something that SA is trying to fight for is to be recognized inside of the Pro League. So currently the SA players aren't actually recognized as like pro players, right? So currently we're in like a comp level where we will just fight everyone in Africa, and obviously like win in Africa, right? But so basically like what we're trying to do, so hopefully some people from the Rainbow Six Siege team can actually watch this video and actually see that we are actually fighting to like be pros, is that we want to be able to fight against other teams from America, from Europe, from Russia, like we want to try be on the same level as them, but obviously we can't be on the same level as them because we don't even get recognized, you know. So hopefully one day we can be recognized as proper pro players, and then hopefully like some of us can actually go pro. So there is this team inside of SA called 80K. It's a very big org. They have like a CS:GO team, they have a Valorant team, they have a Siege team, they have Dota teams. They are like really big, and basically what like their vision is that they want to try go pro as like a proper team just of SA players to try go to Europe, go to like the US and actually kick ass over there, you know. But basically what like I'm hoping for is that the whole of SA gets like recognized as like pro, you know.
Yeah. So
which is quite difficult.
Yeah.
So talking about like SA players competing overseas, obviously in like physical sports, whenever I was cycling and I'd go overseas, they'd always say they love South African athletes because we're so aggressive, we think differently, we're just we kind of blow people's minds sometimes with the way we compete. Do you find that whenever you play on different servers, you see a similar style? Do you find that South African players have something special that other players around the world don't have?
Yeah, so every now and then we go and play in like EU servers and the US servers, but then like even there we will still have like 180 ping, 200 ping, 300 ping, you know, and it's quite difficult because you can actually see that like the ping is destroying our gameplay, you know. So that is why we have to become so aggressive, is because the ping helps us in a way to become more aggressive, but it's so difficult because it's so hard to win a gunfight because you need to start shooting 0.2 seconds before he starts shooting or you will die, you know.
I mean I think that's what people don't understand is like it's a reaction time, it's, you know, problem solving, it's so many other things. It's not just going in and shooting, it's not just, you know, in Fortnite, you know, building, trying to win. It's not just a video game. There's so many other aspects to each game, but in every game, in every video game, it's problem solving, decision making, and it has to be like this, and this. And if you're losing, you know, or if you're behind by 300 milliseconds and you know, are losing 38% of what's going on in the game,
That's horrible.
there's no reason to even play.
Yeah, but now we went to the EU servers last week, and one of our players queued inside of a ranked game, and he actually found two of the guys from EU, like basically this EU pro team that is like actually pro, and like they went and they faced G2, which is like one of the biggest teams in the world recently, right? And he destroyed them. So it's like he literally destroyed them on 180 ping, and he is inside of Shook, which is not even the best team inside of SA, you know, and we did that. It's like, just imagine if our whole team was there. Just imagine if their whole team was there and we actually faced each other properly. Even if they had 9 ping and we had 180 ping, I'm pretty sure we could still take them.
Are you?
And it's
That's a challenge, by the way.
Yeah, that sounds like a challenge right there. But how do you think you and your team or other teams in South Africa could go about connecting with European teams or American teams and setting up scrims against those teams? Because you spoke a lot about scrims, but it sounds like all your scrims are against other African teams. You know, how are you guys going to convince these European and American teams that you are good enough to scrim against?
Yeah, so we have actually scrimmed a EU team before, and basically the reason that they don't want to scrim us is because all they do is complain about ping. Because as soon as they start losing, they're like, no, it's because he's on 180 ping and he's busy abusing it, and he's using it to win gunfights. But it's like, I'm on 180 ping. Maybe if you were faster, you could beat me at a gunfight, you know? It's like I'm actually us that are taking the toll, not you, you know? So it's like, as soon as we start winning, then they just leave and say, no, you guys are like ping abusing. No, like you guys are not right. When it's like, well, if we could do that and still destroy EU teams on 180 ping, and then all they do is complain about ping, it's like,
Yeah. Is there
I've never heard of ping abusing.
Oh yeah, it's in the Siege community.
It's quite a big
that's
thing
all
on
you hear,
Siege.
yeah, it's the ping abusers, people using ping to their advantage.
I've
No,
never.
so like, kind of what happens is like, let's say this is a wall, right? And then
Mhm.
you're on the side of the wall, and the enemy's on the side of the wall, and then you quick peek like this, like you flick from behind the wall and open.
Yep.
Basically, you have like a couple of milliseconds there where he cannot see you, but you can see him. So technically, you would use that to kill him before he even sees you. But also, what could happen is that if you flick out and flick back in, and then he shoots, even though that you're behind the wall, he can still kill you. That's
Gotcha.
because your body hasn't moved back yet, but you
Yeah.
have, but your body hasn't yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it goes both ways,
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well.
So you're gonna start streaming soon?
Yeah, so I actually started streaming on Twitch a month ago already. But obviously it hasn't gone too great because Twitch is quite difficult, obviously. Because if you have like 5 viewers, you're still all the way down by the bottom. No one really sees you. But as you can see, that guy streams on Facebook and he gets quite a lot of views. So I want to join him on that side, see if it works out. Hopefully it will.
Yeah.
It's bought Mixer.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
got Mixer,
Yeah.
and I was recently reading like a study done between people on Twitch and people on Facebook gaming. They found that people on Facebook gaming are actually able to get more of their revenue through than Twitch streamers. So I'm sure you're going to see a lot of Twitch streamers moving over to Facebook, especially if they can make a lot more money. And now that they got Mixer, they'll start bringing in that audience. Hopefully they can grow that.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I hope to make it that side.
Corinna just moved over there. She's getting a lot of views and a lot more money. My cousin Anthony, the Chronicles, he was going back and forth between Twitch and Facebook, but then he read how much money. So like for subscribers alone, Facebook only takes around a penny of every subscriber, whereas Twitch takes around, I think it's like 30% of every subscriber. So now in donations, as Josh found out last night, they take around, what was it, 40%?
Yeah, I think I donated like $5 to the Chronicle stream, and or they charged me like $5.40, so I'm assuming that's just tax. But then when I worked out how much money he only got like $3.20 something cents. So they definitely took off a chunk there. But at least it's good to know that these gamers can, because it was very easy for me to donate to his stream. It was a couple seconds, to set that all up, which is always nice.
It was really cool. I mean, the Chronicles has worked very, very hard to be able to have people donate. He's a grinder, man, and it's super cool because like it's someone that I've watched, or like he didn't stream and then he started streaming and then he like continued, and finally he got to the point where Facebook was like, all right, we're gonna monetize your channel, and that's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
If you put in the work to it, you get a chance to actually reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we'll be super excited to see you streaming on Facebook. I'm sure we'll drop in. Anyone listening, go check him out, vKixie, on Facebook, and see it.
And YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yeah, I'll definitely plug in your YouTube at the bottom of this page so everyone else can go check it out. He's got some pretty nasty flicks. He's pretty good at clicking heads, I guess. But we just want to thank you for coming onto this show, The Daily Vibe. We really appreciate
Thank you so
coming on.
much.
It's our first episode. We were really hyped about it. We're excited for the future of this channel.
Thank you so much for having me.
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys. Tune in.
Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day. Tune in next week onto The Daily Vibe. We'll bring in some more people to talk about esports.